So the last step that you need to work on is actually have a partner feed you balls or play the ball back, and you practice hitting the overhead in the air. And I just want to talk a little bit about the follow-through, which is usually an abbreviated version of the serve follow-through, which usually goes here on the left side of the body. But when you hit an overhead, follow-through usually happens automatically here, because you need to be ready for the next shot. And one tip here is that you don't aim in the service box when you're hitting an overhead, because then usually the elbow leads first. You're hitting really down, and there are too many balls ending up in the net. So try and aim deeper over the service line and focus on racket head going down first, and then the arm follows. So we call this that the racket is leading and then the arm is following, or something like this. So the racket goes down first and the arm follows. When you play an overhead for a while, you will start feeling that this is the shot that you can hit the hardest. But don't start learning with that mindset. So don't focus first on power and speed. Focus first on placement and control and learning the correct technique. So hitting in the correct contact point and racket going down first and finding the ball with your feet first. And that way you will develop a good fluid motion, and then adding power to this motion will be an effortless process. So thank you. Hi, and welcome to the volley lesson for tennis beginners. Volley is a technically very simple stroke, but playing a volley has its challenges. And the main one is that you're positioned closer to the net and closer to your opponent. So that means you have less time to react and move to the ball. And the second main thing is that when you're closer to the net, you have much better angles to play away from your opponent. But that also means that there is a shorter distance from where you hit the ball to where you want the ball to land. So that means you cannot really hit the ball fast. You need to play with control and placement. So before we go into any technical details, let's first learn how to move to the ball and how to approach playing a volley. The best way to learn how to move at the net is to play a catching game. Position yourself halfway between the service line and the net and have a partner play the ball to you, and you just catch the ball with both hands and throw the ball back. What's important here is that you're in a ready position, probably a little lower than you're at the baseline, and keep moving and try and catch the ball with both hands. You can also experiment and try and catch the ball with one hand, which will improve your hand-eye coordination, and just react and move quickly to the ball. And that way you will also eliminate any backswings here, because you don't swing here to catch the ball. Your hands are in front of you and you catch the ball, and later when you play a volley, it's going to be very similar. Since volley is a very simple stroke, we will cover the preparation and the follow-through in the same step. So the preparation starts from the ready position, and then you just turn to where you see the ball is coming. If it's going to your forehand, turn this way, backhand, turn this way. And that way your racket is almost ready. And then from here, when the racket is at the same height as your head, somewhere here, just extend and finish on the same side of the body in a horizontal position. So something like this. So just turn and finish in a horizontal position at the same side of your body. One of the most common mistakes with beginners is that the racket goes across the body, and so try and eliminate that and focus on keeping the racket on the same side of the body, and that way you have a good control of direction. You can direct the ball, and if the racket goes like this, it's very hard to direct the ball. So again, from a ready position, just turn and finish on the same side And again, play the ball slightly upwards, and we're still playing the short court, so just gently play, turn and gently. The preparation and the follow through on the backhand side are basically the same, just on this side. So the racket starts here and finishes here. And again, what you need to do for preparation is just turn your body, and then the racket is ready. So from here, just turn your body and then extend. One good idea is to think that when you're preparing, it's the body doing, and when you're hitting the ball, it's more the arm. So again, it looks something like this. Prepare here, and see if you can end up on the same side of the body in a horizontal position. Again, similar to one-handed backhand, you need to stay sideways here, and left arm helps if you put the left arm back, same as you did in one-handed backhand. So when you play a volley, you stay sideways and you keep this arm back. So something like this. And again, just turn and see if you can keep the racket on the same side. Again, you're playing slightly upwards in the short court. And keep the ball in play. The split step is even more important when you play at the net than when you play at the baseline. And there are two main differences between the split step at the net and at the baseline. The first one is, since you have less time, you have to really jump low so that you don't waste time in the air. So split step is very low and feet are usually wider. So something like this. So very low split, and your ready position is lower at the net than at the baseline. And the second difference is that when you do a split step at the net, you need to feel that you're falling forward. Of course, in a controlled way, so you're not losing balance. But the split step needs to be in a way that you're moving forwards. So you don't split step and stay on the same level. So see if you can feel that you split, and then always feel that you're moving forward. About the footwork, it's a little more difficult to define footwork at the net because many times you don't have really time to put the leg in a certain position because you just need to react quickly to the ball. But a good guideline is to just start with the opposite leg. So if your racket is on the right side of the body, then go with your left leg. If the racket is on the left side of the body, go with your right leg. And what's important here is that you don't stop like this, but that you move through the ball. So doesn't matter if it's forehand or backhand, just keep moving and see if you can go through the ball. Many times at the net you will be forced into different footwork patterns, so don't think about what you need to do with your legs, just move naturally and comfortably, because maybe sometimes you will have to play like this or like this, and you may think that this is not a correct footwork, but in fact that doesn't count. What counts is can you play the ball in. So just see if you can keep your feet moving at the net. Also think about keeping the momentum forward, and that will also pull your leg forward, and then just go towards the ball. But for now, just maybe think about the opposite leg, so backhand right and forehand left.